Hey y'all, my name is Georgette, aka Georgetchi, and I am here with the breakdown for this week's challenge. This week's challenge, we're going to keep it simple and jazzy, and we're going to stay in the universe of tempo. If you do not know what tempo is, you're going to find out by the end of this video, okay? As always, make sure you're staying safe, make sure you stretch, warm up your body before doing any type of activities. All right, here we go. First things first, I'm going to do the routine, saying the rhythms, and then we're going to break it down, okay? So we have tempo, tempo, samba, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and tempo, 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 tempo. Beautiful samba afterwards, okay? All right, let's break it down. Okay, first things first, we're going to start from the beginning, okay? First, you're going to prep into your samba, okay? So I did 2 steps. I crossed over my left with my right, and I brought my left to my right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Tempo, tempo. From the back, tempo, tempo. Okay, next, I'm going to samba for 8. Y'all already know how to samba, right? Ah. Okay, after I did my 8 counts of samba, now I'm going to start the routine. I'm going to end here on 8. So just to show you what that looks like, tempo, tempo, samba, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I end here on 8. I'm going to take my right leg and sweep behind my left. Tempo. Next, I'm going to take my left leg and step behind my right. So I'm not going to sweep. I'm going to pick it up and step behind. Tempo. Same with the right leg. Tempo. Okay? Here we go. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go forward. Okay? So we have tempo, tempo, tempo. I'm going to take my right leg and go forward. Right, left. Okay? Again, tempo. Back, back, forward, forward. One more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Tempo, 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 tempo. One time from the back. Tempo, 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 tempo. All right. Once I've come to the front, I stop on my left leg, all right? On my left leg, I'm going to sweep 1 time to the left, 1 time to the right. So I have my left leg here, and I'm going to sweep behind my right, behind my left. Okay? Again, tempo, tempo. All right? 1 time from the top. Tempo, 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 tempo. Sweep, sweep. After this, my right leg is already behind my left leg. All I'm going to do is unwind. I'm not going to move my feet. I'm not going to do anything but shift my weight to my right like this. Again. Okay? And for your arms here, feel free to do whatever. You can come here, here. Arms are free. Okay? Next, what we're going to do, you're going to take your left leg and go behind your right leg. Okay? So again, we have our left leg front. Sweep, sweep, turn, tempo, turn. Okay? Once my left leg is here, I'm going to do the same thing. Shift my weight to my left and just unwind. Okay? From the top after our samba, we have our right leg in front. Sweep, 1, step, tempo, 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 tempo. Sweep, sweep, turn, place, turn. Okay? After we finish our last turn, we're going to take our right leg and bring it forward with our hand like we're throwing our hip out to the world, but please be careful. Don't throw your hip out to the world, okay? So you're going to throw your hip forward and then bring it back. So it's like it's on a string. You threw the string and then you're bringing it back, okay? One more time. I ended here after my final turn. I'm stepping, bringing. After this, my weight is on my left leg. I'm going to place my weight forward on the right and bring my leg up like this. Left leg is in the air and I'm going to step forward, take my right leg, kick, bring it back, step. Okay? You can see the transfer of weight there. All right? So I'm here with my hip, bringing it back. I'll show you what that looks like from the side. Hip out, here. Watch my weight. Here, step, kick, step. Again, out, in, kick, step, kick, step. All right? Let's go from our 8 after the samba and finish there. 5, 6, 7, 8. And sweep. Step, 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 step. Sweep, sweep. And turn, place, and turn, hip. Bring it in, kick, step, up. Perfect. All right. Everything is still tempo. So after we have kicked our foot up, tempo, tempo, I'm going to roll my weight back on my right leg so that way my left leg is free, and I'm going to cross it over my right. So again, tempo, tempo, tempo. One more time. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Now I'm going to unwind again. Tempo, tempo. So what that looks like, I kicked my leg, tempo, tempo. Now I'm going to take my right leg and just bring it around. Look, tempo, tempo. From the back, I kicked my right leg, step. I'm taking my left leg and crossing it, and all I'm doing is unwinding my body. Tempo, tempo. Okay? From the kick, kick. Tempo, 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 tempo. Okay? Now, after that, you're going to go right, left. It's going to feel natural because you're coming out of your kick, you're stepping. Here, I'm taking my right here, and then weight shift to the left. Tempo. Now, all of my weight is on the left. I'm going to kick with my right, and now I'm going to kick with my left. So all I'm going to do is take my weight that's here. I'm sitting on my left leg, and I'm going to switch. Okay? So from the kick, kick, tempo, 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 tempo. Okay? After this, all the weight is on my right leg. I'm going to take my weight and put it on my left leg. Tempo. All right? And then now finish off just how we started. Tempo, tempo. Samba 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now to put it all together, we have tempo, tempo. Samba 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And tempo, 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 tempo. Samba 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and pose. Yes. Thank you all so much for joining me for this week's challenge. If you all have any questions or feedback, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Make sure you tag me in the videos. Tag me on Instagram at I am Georgette B. Make sure to like, subscribe, okay? Share this with your friends. Share this with your Samba family so that way you all can join in on these challenges together. Until next week, até próxima semana. Ciao.